So again, thanks for all the feedback from yesterday's video, but I realized one of the things I struggle with, and that's pride. And it's a weird thing to say because I don't think of myself as a proud person often. Like I often get confused by what people mean by pride. Like if somebody tell me like, oh, I'm really proud that you did that. I'm always like, why? What does that mean? Like, why are you proud of what I did? Or when they're proud of what somebody else did. I mean, like I can appreciate, I understand the work and I appreciate the work. Like, but the word pride often confuses me. But with that, in some ways with game development, I'm still very old school. And I don't care about secrets. I've never cared about secrets. I've never cared about like the competitor is going to find out what I'm making and they're going to make a better version or any of that. Like that's never been a problem. But what I do worry about is two things on this kind of, I think it's two big buckets. One is sharing early because I know what I was saying there's kind of a encapsulation of the ideas that I want to have. And it's just not one big thing, but it's a bunch of little things that are all talking about something that's bigger and deeper. Like I said, it's a little artsy fartsy, but it's also, there's a lot of fartsy in it. And I don't know if that will come across in the little bits. So I'm hesitant to share the little bits lest the game be judged on those and people think less of it. And then I also, if I'm really honest with myself, and a hard way to do is say, if I release a game next year that's built like this, that has jank in it, that has art in it, that comes from the marketplace, it's bad animation or whatever. Like, let's just say I do everything myself because I want to make it, because it's about this and it would make sense that I do everything, but I like working with people. So whatever. Would I think, oh man, people are going to look at that and go, oh my God, I can't believe he's failed so far that he's now making games like that or something. And not exactly that, but you know what I mean? Like that he's not making these big AAA games. Like I have no desire to make a big AAA game ever again. And I do want to make these kind of smaller things, but there's that weird perception and like even talking about like failure or talking about struggles or like, again, I am happy with Anacrusis, but, money-wise, it's a failure, right? And so talking about that, I'm self-conscious about that of like, oh, people, man, we used to think he's smart. Now he's just an idiot. Which, fooled you, I was never smart. But right, like there's some of that. And so I just go back and forth of like, how do I approach that? How do I think of that? A way to approach that. But I mean, I've seen other senior developers leaving big companies and making small little things and then being happy about it and then being excited about it. Like I said, I like making this stuff. I like the process of making it. That I like the most by far. That's what I enjoy. It's the sharing part and how do I share that without feeling some kind of weight or worry or anxiousness. Because again, the game could fail. And I'm fine. I could retire. Like that doesn't matter. But it would matter. It kind of smarts that Anacrusis isn't more successful because, it is always like, oh man, he doesn't know how to do anything. He's just riding on the tails of others, which again, working with a team, a really talented team, and it was my failure to get our team to be equally as talented in the way that was needed, and that is my fault, not anybody on the team's fault. But you know what I'm saying, right? So I don't know. That is a thing that I kind of go back and forth on and kind of struggle a little bit. So one of the things that was helpful, I don't know if I want. Do you remember Audio Surf? Dylan Fitter, really nice guy, really good guy. Oh, I made that. And I remember seeing him at I may have said this story before, at PAX for Audio Surf 2. And he was dressed up and he was really kind of embracing the surf thing. And he kind of had like he's dressed up a little bit and he had a booth for his thing, right? And I was just thinking, man, like here's a big success with Audio Surf 1. What does that feel like to kind of like have to dress up and kind of play this, kind of like demean yourself almost. So that was the first thought I had, right? And then watching 5 seconds with the community and realizing he's just having fun and embracing his game and who he is and all the players and all the love that was around that booth. It was me bringing that negativity to that, not him in any way. And in fact, he was doing something super positive and super awesome and just having fun with it, embracing it and being goofy and like all those things I attest to being, but fail at. And then here he was, right? It's still hard, right? And so then it becomes like, I always share stuff with a bunch of closed people. There's a group of people that I do share stuff with who can understand, and we can have these kind of talks, and I feel like I'm not weird about it. But since I want to do this in the open, and we're going to do this over the next course of the year, let's say year, because if we went to publishers, like I said, we would probably get quiet next year. We'd probably get quiet because they're weird if you talk about it too much before they get their hands on it. But we'd probably be quiet for a while anyways. But now is it worth not being quiet about it earlier? And then when do you share and when does it feel? And like, 'cause games get better when you iterate, and these individual parts have to add up and they have to work together in this weird way that I have in my head. And some of it is like jokes that play off surprise, so that if you don't have that surprise, is it going to work? That's something that happens a lot with single player games, right? That they get hard to play test because you know what's going to happen. I happen to be lucky. I'm not kidding. This is a skill I have, is I'm not bright enough to not be able to play a game again for the first time. I played Half-Life 2 Episode 1 1,000 times, and every single time I could play it like as a new player because I'm just not smart. So that's a good skill. It doesn't help me here, except, so like sharing that, I worry that other people don't have that. And then you have this thing where, oh, it didn't work. And then you put it together and it does work. But they still probably can get the value out of that play test. But equally, I don't want to start talking too early before, because games and how the momentum in them is often you have a bunch of work. Like I have a bunch of stuff stored up. So if I started playtesting today, there are like 6, 7 things people could playtest and it'd be super awesome. And then they would wait. And then I just did menus because I wanted a menu system, because I realized I wanted a menu system. And that took, time. There's the save game and how I changed how that works underlying, and that took time. And so like there's these unsexy things that get in the way of the actual gameplay stuff. And so if you do it too early, I think you get these starts and stop where people think you've fallen off or stopped doing it. I won't shut up. I'll keep talking about it because I'm if anything, annoying in my continually talking. So that is, out of all of that yesterday, just something I wanted to cover, in that realization that I think I'm going to use the word pride is hindering me from approaching this in maybe the way that I should be or want to be for this sized thing. Then maybe it's not. Maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. I sometimes like doing stuff like this and doing this on and off and kind of continuously can helps me pick at it, so that it's not like I'm going from 0 to, hey, here's everything, but slowly getting there, and that'll help. I don't know. I want to go play Little City, Big Kitty. Oh, Little Kitty, Big City, Big Kitty. I told that guy, I think it should be Little Kitty, Big City, not Big City, Little Kitty. But maybe not. I don't know. All right, I'm going to go play that. But so just kind of wanted to share that. That is some real meandering, though. If anyone has any good tricks, meditation helps. I'm still meditating. That helps. I don't know. Also, this medication puts me in weird mental states. So who knows? It could all just be blamed on the drugs I'm taking. But at least my face has been better. It blows it out in this light. I don't know. It's fine. I don't know. Skin's really dry. Hey, I can do makeup commercials. I can get a TikTok makeup sponsorship. There's a lot of those, I think. I don't know. All right, I'll stop.